everybody's staying nice and cool. It was 47 degrees here this morning at 10,000 feet in Colorado, not to brag. Felt really good.
Well, it's been about 70, 72 for the last 3 weeks here, so I have nothing to complain about.
You're going to hear some chainsaws in the background probably. Everybody is taking down trees because of these giant fires in Colorado Springs and up by north of Boulder, where there's a fire. So we're all taking down all these dead trees all over, and the city actually here is picking them up. If you chop them down and put them into 6-foot segments, the city's picking them up. And they told them, if you don't take them down, we'll take them down. It'll cost a lot more money. So they're getting pretty serious. This state is a tinderbox right now. Everybody's a little scared.
How far are the fires from you, Claude?
From us, it's about 2 hours away. But, we lived in California just as you did. And as you are, and we've had fires literally come up the canyon to our house, and so we don't. We're watching that. Okay, Mr. Krupp. Oh, here we got a text in here. Hello, Mr. Krupa.
Hey, Claude, how are you?
I am doing good. Say congratulations to Mr. King. Just had a baby boy.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit today. I'll throw it to you guys for whatever direction you want to go. But you guys know I'm a pseudo-psychiatrist. I'm always, one of the things I like to share with you what I'm currently reading and stuff. I've got this set. You ever hear of the thing called the Great Courses? They're in magazines and stuff. They're CD sets with a book. And they're just fantastic. You listen to them in your iPod. And this is by Professor Mark Leary of Duke University. And it really breaks down human behavior, self-esteem, why we do the things that we do, why do we behave the way we do. And I've been listening to him on my morning runs here. It's literally a college course in human behavior, and it's fantastic. One of the things he was talking about this morning was self-esteem. And I wanted to just touch on that a little later today, how self-esteem kind of connects to success, to making money. Why do some people make a lot of money? Why do some people feel great about themselves? Why do some people, we've all met the sad sack kind of personality. Woe is pitiful me, the chicken little, the sky is falling. Why are some people so successful and others are not? Here comes Mr. Gill. Here's another book I'm reading. I picked it up, I forgot where, in New York or somewhere. It's just a simple, I got it in a bookstore. It's called The Psychology Book. Basically, it goes over all the great people with ideas, Pavlov, Jung, and stuff like that. I find this stuff fascinating because I use it in sales. I want to know what to say to person, what's the right thing to say to person to make them want to trust you, to buy from you, to do business with you, rather than just be an amateur and just throw out all these long presentations. Let me tell you about lease purchasing. Let me tell you about car sales. Let me tell you about gut selling system. Instead of just throwing information out, it's being a little bit more analytical, asking the right questions, and deciding whether this person is worthy of your time. Are you working smart, or are you just working hard? Good morning, Mr. Gill. I don't know if you heard me.
Yes, good morning. How are you guys?
I am great. I'm great. And Mr. Hatch just joined us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Do you know the gang? Ken has been, I've been working with Ken. Oh, and here comes a Sharon Sanders. I think that's about our limit right now. And an Anthony Martinez. Okay, that's how many? We're only allowed 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. We're full up.
Wow.
Okay, great. Morning, Sharon.
Good morning.
Okay, everybody together say congratulations to Mrs. King on the birth of Chaim Zechariah King.
Yay!
Thank you.
Having said that, both my children are, I'm an empty nester.
Wow.
And you know what? It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Okay. Good morning, Samin.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you're going to have to mute your phone because you have a lot of background noise.
Oh, okay.
Are you in the laundry room or are you on Fifth Avenue?
In Corona.
You're in Corona, Queens. Well, everybody, quick. Let's go around real quick. Everybody, just introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
Yeah, I'm in New York City, in Corona, in Queens. It's very hot these days.
Oh. Hi. Ken, go ahead, Ken.
Okay, Ken Hatch. I'm in Portland, Oregon.
Okay. Kenny?
Kenny Krupa. I'm in Bay City, Texas, just south of Houston on the coast.
Okay, Larry?
I'm Larry Gill, and I'm outside of the city of Seattle, where it's sunny today for once.
And I see Anthony finally got on. Anthony, can you hear me? There's no sound, Anthony. I'm sorry. Kevin King, tell us we know about you. Where do you live again, young man?
I'm in the D.C. metro area,
That's
specifically right. Woodbridge, Virginia.
Okay, and Sharon, and then after that, Linda.
Sharon Sanders in Long Beach, California.
All right.
Linda Moreno in Playa del Rey, California.
And we have Troy here. Troy is a new licensee.
Hey, everybody. I'm over here in Provo, Utah, outside of Salt Lake City. Nice to be a part of the group.
Troy is an amazing trainer in the gut sales method. We've been doing a lot of talking here. And he's a guy you might want to talk to because he's doing who's the young man there?
This is my guy, Dominic.
Hi, Dominic. Can we call him Dom? In New York,
no, he goes by Dominic.
In New York, we'd call him Dom.
That's right.
We're not in New York. This is fun. And did I leave anyone out? I think I got everybody. Who's got a success story for me? Let's start with, we've got an hour here. I'm recording. Oh, the music interlude. Thank you. Who's got a success story? Has anyone done a deal? Has anybody, let's talk with success first. Who's done a deal here? Oh, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Yeah, you know, I signed up as a licensee with the gut sales training system and was pretty excited and went out and got my first client within, probably within my first 4 or 5 days. And so, it was a great success. And, I'm trying to put some logistics in order right now, get my website complete and things like that. But it was cool to go out and get a client real fast.
Tell us about that. How did you feel? Because the theme for today is self-esteem, is my little theme for today. How did you feel after you made that sale?
Well, like you, Claude, I've been studying psychology and self-esteem for a long time. I mean, the reality is, Claude, is that I believe the statistic is something up around 99 point something of the population suffer from self-esteem issues to one degree or another.
Everybody has up and down days.
Yeah.
Everybody has self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
But my specific question to you, this is real important towards success.
How did I feel?
How did you feel?
I felt fantastic. I was the Tiger Woods fist pump, it was, yeah.
I always say making a sale. I gotta take off Ken here because there's too much background noise. Isn't that better? Well, yeah. My feeling, I always say that making a sale is the second best feeling in the world. We're all adults here, so I'm not going to go into detail. But making a sale. Self-esteem is not something you start with. It's something you earn. It's the result of doing something very successfully. And I know that when I make a sale, when I use the powers of persuasion to do a deal as a buyer or seller in real estate or do some sales training with somebody or something, I am 2 feet above the ground. It is just a wonderful feeling of self-worth. It ties into your confidence. And I think it's a wonderful feeling. And is anybody disagree or agree or have something to add on that?
Agree.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah. What do you, Larry?
Yeah.
When you're a photographer, also, when you get a contract for a big project or something, and you were competing against other people, how do you feel? How's that feel?
Actually, I just got one recently.
Tell us about it.
And it feels great. It was a real big project down by SeaTac Airport, and I was basically going against 5 other photographers, and they had walkthroughs, and they were, not just looking at the budgets, they were looking at quality work and reliability and past experience and everything else. And And it felt great. I got the job, and I've already gotten a couple referrals from that particular job, and it's just
round of applause. Excellent. And for both you guys. Let me ask you something, Larry. Did you use gut? And I'll ask the same question to you, Troy, afterwards. Did you use Gut's system? Did you ask questions that tried to make them decide why you were why you were a better choice, why you were more trustworthy, why you were going to solve their issues? Did you use any of that question-based training we always used to talk about?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I did. And when we were doing the walkthrough, and it's a client that I worked with before, so it wasn't totally a brand new client. So I knew Bill, and I just basically was talking about, okay, so what do we really want to do here, and who are all the people involved, and you know, what's your bottom line as you want to get done here, and it worked well.
Did you go to Bill and say, you know, I did that last project for you. Were you happy with it? Did you get the results you want? Did you kind of go back and raise up his, kind of do a memory check with him and say, hey, there's a reason why we're talking here again today?
Yeah, actually, I really didn't kind of do that part of it, because one of the other photographers was actually going through the walkthrough with me at the same time, and I beat her out on another job that, you know.
Is it always about price, by the way?
No, it's not always about it. Wasn't.
Talk to me about that. Why you charge? Did you charge more than your competition you were just referring to?
I charged right in with. I knew what everybody else was gonna bid. I was charging right in there with everybody else. And,
okay, I want to go ahead. I'm sorry.
And really, it comes down to you know, again, quality work, and you know, it was an architectural job. You know, it's not like you can just go in and do these things and not know the lighting and how to work with the lighting and everything else. So, you know, it worked well.
Good. Troy, share with us, how did you just close your first client there? You're using the gut as a new licensee. Did you use Guts to sell Guts?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it, would you?
Yeah, you know, I've always used questions to one degree or another with my sales process. The thing that I never really thought about ahead of time was really the process of qualifying for money before a presentation. That was definitely a new concept for me. So I went in and I qualified for money. I qualified for time. I qualified for commitment. In fact, I'll tell you guys, you know, here's the fact of the matter is that I offered a lower priced package and then came back with a higher priced package that I thought was going to be completely out of this person's realm. And I was trying to steer them into the lower package because I just wanted to do that one. And the fact is that they jumped on the bigger package, and I wasn't even expecting it.
Is price, this is a dangerous topic. Is price an issue in sales to the prospect or the salesman? Who's more concerned about the price, the prospect or the salesman?
The salesman, for sure.
Probably. Why?
Because there's self-confidence issues here that are going on.
You know, it's kind of funny. I think as you realize the value of the services you offer, you become more confident, you get a little bit more financially stable. What naturally happens to your prices?
They go up for sure.
They go up, don't they? They go up. And when they go up, why do they go up? Why do we charge less when we're a little, oh gosh, if our self-esteem is kind of low, are we going to charge more or less?
Less.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And that's kind of the problem. So if we feel great about ourselves and we really know where, I'll give you an example. I had a salesman call me yesterday, real nice fella in Virginia. He sells life insurance. I work with a lot of people in financial planning, life insurance, marketing, people like that, just for gut sales. I do real estate a lot too. And he came to me and he told me some of the people in his company are making $600,000-$700,000. Unfortunately, he's not one of them. He's way down in the lower 10% right now. And you know, our whole discussion is what are those people? What are those people who are making that very high six-figure income? What are they doing different from what he's doing? And his biggest what do you think his biggest frustration was as a professional salesperson?
I would guess his biggest frustration was that he didn't really have a system, something that was working regularly for him.
That was part of the reason he called me. He was kind of winging it. He was just getting in front of people and throwing out all the stuff. So that's true. He didn't have a system. How about him as a person, though? Do you think he could have the best system in the world and still fail?
Yes.
Who said yes? Anthony?
Here, was it that he had a low self-image and he wasn't getting in front of the high-powered clients or the clients potentially that could be high-powered? Or the dollar clients?
How important is it well, you raise a really good point. How important is it that we feel great about ourselves?
Very.
Go ahead, Linda. Go with that.
It's very important because a lot of things that people pick up are not just your words. It's your energy. It's the tone that you use. And if you don't have self-confidence, they're going to perceive that.
Ooh. And what's the result? If you get a person, I always use the analogy of a doctor. Say you needed some kind of surgery, and the only doctor from the HMO you saw was a new intern or something. He says, "Hey, I've never done this before, but I saw a movie on it once, and I'm going to give it my best shot." How are you going to feel about that intern? How would you feel about that intern?
I'd be running out of the room.
You'd be running out of the room. Exactly. So do we want, what are the qualities? What is the perception that we have to give to our prospect? And I don't care if we're talking about real estate or network marketing or whatever. What is the personality that the prospect wants to see?
They want to see confidence. They want to work with somebody that knows they know what they're doing.
Yeah, Anthony?
Competence.
Yeah, they want to see. Do they want to see a braggart? I'm going to get into like a Donald Trump, a guy who's just beating his chest, and do they want to see a guy who's the braggart, the big? Do you ever go to a party and meet somebody and you say, "Hey, I just bought a new Toyota Prius or something." Well, I just bought a Toyota dealership. It's always top this. Do you ever meet that person? Do we like that person? I don't personally. Maybe somebody here does, but I don't like the guy who's always, or the girl who's always. You say one thing, and and they got to top this, and it just keeps escalating and escalating on there. I think there's a certain personality type that people are more likely to do business with. I think the confidence is real important. They have to give off that confidence. I attribute that to leadership. What else do they want? Do they want you to be empathetic? Does everyone know what I mean by that word?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone wants to know that you feel for their situation. Everyone wants that.
You feel you're feeling what they're feeling. Isn't that empathy? Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's it.
Okay, it's not sympathy, which is sometimes people mistake feeling sorry for someone. It's feeling what they're feeling. If we can identify what they're feeling, or even bring up things that make them feel worse for their particular situation, and then say, "But we might have solutions for you." What's going on in that prospect's mind now?
See, because I think you have to understand their issues so that you can work with them.
So if we're dealing with somebody, Anthony, you're in the health field. Somebody who sees your marketing, your YouTube video or something, somebody who wants to improve their health. They want to lose some weight. They want to sleep better or something. What are the issues what are you going to do to, are you going to just go into a presentation how you're a great guy and you're going to help them? Or are you going to ask certain questions to heighten their awareness on that particular problem?
I want to ask them certain questions, and I want to know what they're struggling with is affecting different areas of their life.
Do we need to ask questions in a certain way? You guys know where I'm going with this. Kevin, you're smiling.
Yeah, because I can hear you saying, you got to ask them with finesse. You have to do it with finesse.
Why? What do I mean by finesse? Go into that. What does that mean?
Well, you don't just want to blurt out any question, okay? You can come across as, you don't want to come across as a guy who's just constantly asking questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to have to, like you say, empathize. Sometimes you're going to have to listen to what they're saying so you can know which questions to ask.
Oh, know what? So we have to know what questions to ask. We have to heighten their awareness for their fear, their need, their greed, whatever. And these are, if we heighten that awareness, if we raise them to a higher emotional state, and we ask questions, however, with finesse, not as like we're cross-examining them, what is the reaction we're looking for?
Are you still talking to me?
Yes, sir. All right, it's good. Jump in. This is an open forum. I don't have to be the only one talking.
Okay, so you're asking what are we looking for in the?
What are we
want to
create?
see. We want them to have a little bit of anxiety. I mean, if you want to say it correctly,
what a
you want them to have that feeling.
Oh my gosh, you want to raise their anxiety?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you're a new father, and you want to make people uncomfortable?
I do. You want to make them uncomfortable to the point where they're looking for a solution also. And then what do? You provide that solution.
Well, that always comes back to the $1 million rule. How do we get people to make quick decisions? How do we lead them? Not pressure them, not push them, but how do we get them to say, hey, I trust this person. I think this person is knowledgeable. I like their confidence. I like that they're taking an interest in me by asking questions. And are we creating an atmosphere, an environment? I call it the environment of success, to make this person want to buy from us today. Whatever. And I've told you, all of you, the story about my mentor, how I'd see him close real estate deals in one phone call, he'd make more money in one phone call than I did selling hot dogs in the South Bronx in a year, or years. And it just blew me away. It was one of those, what do you call them, epiphany, revelation moments where you just come to say, what? Wow, is this person smarter than me? Is this person doing something really right? I'm going around knocking on doors all day long, giving presentations to some people who want to hear it, a lot of them who don't want to hear it, some who just want to pick my brain for free, some who want to lie and manipulate me. I was talking with somebody yesterday about a situation where it was in Virginia. It was Patty, and she was telling, and her partner David, and David was telling, David's a real estate agent, and he was telling me how this, he was trying to do a real estate deal, and this person asked him for all this information, asked him to send his contracts over. David, unfortunately, did not get a commitment. Okay, he didn't get a timely commitment, and you guys know I'm big on that. And then the guy called him back and wanted to get together for a latte. What do you think I told him?
Don't go.
Well, don't go without a commitment, or at least a tentative commitment, because so many salespeople work for free. They are well-intentioned. They want to sell their products and services, and they feel that they have to give everything away to endear themselves to the prospect. And I don't think I akin the process of selling more to taking a professional tone, where we, as a doctor, a lawyer, or any other professional, and asking questions, getting qualification, and getting a tentative commitment. Maybe not a full sale. Realistically, we don't always close people in one phone call. Sometimes it takes two. We don't always get everything we need. Troy was asking me yesterday, wasn't it, about the 3-minute timer? What was it, Troy, you were asking?
Me and my wife have a standing joke around here that, ever since I met Claude, we find out in 3 minutes or less whether they're going to buy or not. So
I love it.
What we were talking about yesterday was, how quickly, how quickly can you qualify somebody? And we said, yeah, sometimes some people 3 minutes, maybe 6, 9, 12, 15, maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a process, and you work through the process.
Does it really matter if our intention is to ask the right questions with finesse to get enough information so that we can make a determination, whether it's 3 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, as long as our mindset is that, hey, I have rights in this process. I have a right. I want to give a great product and service with accountability, but I think I deserve something in return. Do I have the right, the audacity to ask this person whether or not we can do business, whether they have a budget, how do they make decisions, what are their problems and needs, and are they great enough to take an action today or next week or next year? Do we have those rights?
Absolutely.
I'm very passionate about this, because I'm guilty. I'm a former world's worst salesman. I got to tell you, nobody gave away more free information than this man right here. Okay, and so many people were just they were using me. I think we discussed yesterday a little familiarity breeds contempt in some cases. I think if you're too forthcoming with information and answers without questioning and getting commitment, I think you're not going to make any money. Anybody comment on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, Ken,
what more can you say?
yeah. Ken, jump into this. You look like you're ready to say something.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah. Oh, I like that answer.
I think that it comes down to a question of you have to add value. When you add value to your services and they see the value, it also makes them realize that you're confident in what you're doing.
And that's the back to that perception thing again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, if we get, do you think some prospects will resent you if you take an attitude, hey, I am in business, I am here to help you, but I'm also here to make money, and I think I have while you have the right to find out whether my product or service can benefit you, don't I also have the right to find out if this is realistic? Okay? And do I have that right?
You have that right, and they may resent you, some of them, but it's about respect.
Okay, someone's got some noise in the background, so okay, there it goes. Thank you. Hi, Samin.
It's about. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're on, Anthony.
It's about respect. They have to respect you either way.
Oh, I like that word. Talk to me more about respect. I like that word.
Well, as they approach you, they have to do it with a certain. They have to realize that this guy means business, and I at least need to, honor his time and respect his time, and if I make requests of him, well, there's got to be some give and take here. It's not all for me. This is an exchange.
Yeah. Well, you guys know I'm big on transactional analysis to a certain extent, trying to raise the conversation from one adult and to another adult. When I say adult, what do I mean, Samin? Samin, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I muted myself because
okay.
it's
Samin is in Queens, New York. Samin has a psychology degree, so we do have an expert here. And Samin, when we say adult to adult conversation, when we say mutual respect, what do you think we're talking about here? What's your thoughts?
I feel like, if you shouldn't feel like they're being condescending and you can end the conversation if you feel that your prospect is being like that. You have the, but maybe I don't understand the question.
I'm kind of talking about the relationship between the salesman and the prospect. The amateur, a lot of times they play this game, this little silly game, where the salesman, hi, welcome to ABC Ford. Boy, are we glad to meet you, Hey, do you play golf? Or, I mean an adult to an adult. Anybody want to jump in on this one? I want to hear some feedback here.
Sure. Yeah. It's this idea of being subservient in some way. The salesperson is trying to, kiss their rear end, for a lack of a better way to say it. They're hoping that, that if they say enough things that sound good and they're overly cordial and they're trying to meet every one of they're bending over backwards trying to practically begging the person to buy something. And so it's really
what's the perception then, Troy, of the prospect when a salesman is just too gregarious, too much bonding and rapport? You guys know I disagree with a lot of major players in sales training about bonding and rapport. I get somebody who wants to be my best friend, who's a total stranger. My thinking, and maybe this is just me, I think they want something from me.
Yeah.
Is that just me, or
comes across as being pushy and just
comes across as being insincere?
It comes across as insincere. So I want to keep going on Anthony or anybody else. When I say adult, what do you as an adult to an adult conversation? Did you guys know where I mean when I mean a beautiful point where you're communicating, where you're saying, man, I think I like this person. They're saying what I like to hear. They care about me. They're empathetic. I think they're confident. I think that when we get into that magic place where one party is not condescending to the other or bossy parent to child, when I say adult to adult, isn't that the place we want to get to with the prospect? Maybe it's a strange way to sell, but can we be totally honest and upfront with persons, even if it may end the sale?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Is it good to end the sale?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Give me some whys here. Tell me why.
I had a scenario yesterday. I had an interview with a gal that we started a conversation about a week ago on Facebook regarding sales training. And she got onto the conversation yesterday, and it's really funny. I got to tell you, being in sales as long as I have over the years, I could feel myself wanting to give that presentation, wanting to,
it's hard, isn't it?
Bells and whistles.
And they ask you something that you can deal with, and and the little voice inside of you, the little angel and devil on your shoulder, the angels and the devil say, "Yeah, tell him, he wants to know," and you have it in pink for $2, and the angel saying, "No, Claude said to wait."
Yeah. Well, I actually went through this conversation, and she explained to me that there were so many things in limbo in her business. And she actually came out and she asked me at one point, we were probably about 15 minutes into the conversation. She said, "Do you think you can help me?" And I flat out said, no, I don't really think I can at this time. You've got too many things in limbo.
See, I love that answer. I love it. That's the the words I use. Your words were fine. I say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And what happens to that prospect, Troy? When you did that, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't know. What do you think happens to that prospect when you don't act like the all-knowing salesman?
I could actually feel energetically like a ton of weight just dropped off of her. Like, oh, he really said he can't help me right now. Like, she was expecting a sales pitch, and I didn't give it.
What happens when we go to that prospect? They ask us a question. We're dying to give them the answer, and I'm telling you, Uncle Claude is saying I don't know. I need to find out more. I'm not really sure. How important is this to you? Do you have a money budget set aside? Do you make decisions with a spouse or a partner or a corporation? You don't mind me asking a few questions? Maybe I can help you here. Is that all right? And believe me, it's okay to say no. I mean, you guys have heard me say this many times. Why do you think I do this stuff?
To elicit more interest from them.
Have they ever heard a character like us? All of us here are using the GUTS method. A lot of reverse psychology, redirection, a lot of empathy. We're creating that environment of success. Why are we doing, maybe we're wrong, why are we doing this when the other 99% are still doing show and tell like it's third grade?
Because it works.
I think it comes down to this adult conversation.
Ooh,
I think it's.
Thank you. You took us full circle. I like that.
Yeah, because I think one of the biggest fears of all salespeople is somehow they wait until the very end to ask about money. They hope that if this client likes what I've got enough, hopefully the emotion's high enough at the end of the sale that they're going to say yes. But man, oh man, what a waste of time. Absolutely the wrong place to be talking about money. I mean, if you've got a $5,000 product, you don't want to wait until 4 hours into this thing or 2 hours into this relationship.
Jimmy, we got to do a role play here. You got to qualify me. I'll be the prospect here. I want you to, Troy, I have all these problems, and I'm trying to sell more life insurance, and I really need a better system, and I need to sell my house, and I'm having trouble with sales and everything like that. Maybe you can help me. I heard about you. And now you go into the qualification with the money. Go ahead.
Sure, sure. You know, Claude, I'm not sure if I can help you yet. You know, we're going to have to really, well, we're going to have to dig into this thing. Let's suppose for a moment, Claude, that I could help you. Okay. Let's talk. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about money, Claude?
No. What's your? Do you have a program or something like that?
You know, Claude, like I said, I don't know if I can help you with this yet.
Okay. Time out. What I just did is something. It's one of my favorite little words. I have even a shirt that says it. Does anyone know the word I'm going to use? What I just did? It's called obfuscation.
Okay.
Don't ask me to spell it. It's obfuscate is when Troy just asked me a direct question. Very simple, very straightforward. What did I do?
You direct him with another question.
Oh, well, did I change the subject?
Yeah.
Why does the prospect do that?
I would guess they're trying to avoid the money topic.
Bingo.
Yeah.
What does that tell you right away? What's the number one objection to selling your product or service to people?
Money.
Who said money?
Anthony.
Anthony, it's money. It's going to be money. What are they really saying to you when they change the subject or they answer your question with a question? What are they really saying to you?
That issue that you're touching on is very important, or at least
that's
it's a very touchy issue.
Linda?
They're uncomfortable with the subject of money.
They're uncomfortable with it. So what does Troy have to do? When I obfuscate, we're going to go back to that role play again. When I obfuscate, when I change the topic, and he was asked a very nice and he did it beautifully with a lot of finesse. When he changed the topic, when I changed the topic, excuse me, what is Troy going to do? Let's go back to the role play and say, you know, Troy, I'm kind of interested in your program and everything, and I just want to learn more about it and how it might help me.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate you saying that. And most people do want to know more about the program. And I'm not really sure if we can help you or not at this point, Claude. What I really want to find out, Claude, is that if we are able to help you, if I'm able to show you a program that works, I'd like to chat with you a little bit about, can you pay for the program, or is this something that's really in your field of being able to handle it financially, Claude?
Well, money's kind of a challenge right now. You know, my commissions haven't been as high, and my wife's expecting another baby, right, Kevin? You're going to give her a week off? You know, and it's just we're watching our money right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, I believe you said to me earlier that one of the challenges that you were having was you don't have the commissions coming in.
Yep. Go. Oh, he beautiful. I gotta interrupt. He just did a beautiful thing. What did he do? Someone tell me.
Brought up the pain.
He went back to the pain, the issue at hand, the need, the greed, the agony, the fear, because it always comes back to the $1 million rule, that he's going to make that decision today regardless of the money. We can work out the money maybe, and Troy's going to stick on that topic. But my temperature, my pain, my motivation was up to an 8 or 9. Troy started talking about money. Do you think my motivation, my attention span, my attention to this whole thing went down or up? I think it went down.
Down.
It went down. And now we're talking about money again. Is Troy going to handle that money problem now, in the middle, or the end of the presentation, or next week over lattes?
Now.
Yeah. That was the problem with the sales guy I was talking with yesterday in Virginia. He didn't want to tackle the money issue, the commitment issue, whatever is really germane. And in this case, it's the money. Let's go back to it again. And Troy, I know you're going to segue probably to financing. You're going to raise my pain a little, very nicely, and then we're going to segue back to the money again and maybe offer financing, if that's reasonable for what you do. Yeah, Troy. You know, Troy, money's an issue right now. You know, we're watching every penny.
You know, I respect that, Claude. You know, you got to watch every penny these days. And, you know, you said to me earlier that one of the big challenges, Claude, and please correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't want to pretend I got all the answers. You said commissions are really tough right now. You said that, you know, that you mentioned to me you were struggling with being able to pay for certain things as it related to the children you have, and you didn't want your wife to have to go back and work at 7-Eleven. And, you know, times were tough. And
we get free Slurpees. I mean,
I respect that, Claude. And let's pretend for a moment, Claude, that money's not an issue here. Let's put that on the back burner for a second.
Okay.
If money was not an issue, would you want to move forward and work with me one-on-one and get trained in this guts process?
Yeah, I love everything you've said so far, and I really need something, and I need to pay off some bills. I need to take care of savings. I need to get my wife out of that cleaning that Slurpee machine all day, and we've got babies coming, and you know, I got to do something here. And if money wasn't an issue, yes, I would.
Yeah. You know, I got to tell you, Claude, this is not something I normally do. Okay,
but you're going to do it for me today.
It really sounds like you're in a tough spot, and I'd like to help you if I can.
Okay, time out. What's he creating here right now and doing it very well?
Trust.
Larry?
A little anxiety again, you know.
A little anxiety. What else? What other emotions are coming through here? What is he trying to create here?
Almost despair, you know, but then maybe the anxiousness that maybe there's something that can be done, you know, and it's just like, you know, that wave of emotion that, you know, well, geez, if I can do this, maybe this will work, you know, and Troy, you're good, you know. So.
Well, we're what we do here, we're practicing, and you've all heard of the takeaway method, where you take something away. We're taking away the money issue, aren't we? You know, and most sales guys, actually, when they say take away, they're going to say, well, the price goes up on Friday. We only have 2 left. I can only schedule another 1 person. That's a takeaway to create anxiety. But the way most salespeople do it, though, I think it's very obvious, once again. It's very self-serving and obvious, and the perception by the prospect is, oh, he or she is just doing this to get my business. They're lying. True or false?
True.
Yeah. But the way Troy is doing it, he's kind of adding value. He's trying to say, listen, if money wasn't an issue, let's just remove the money from the whole formulation here, the whole math. If money was an issue, you still wouldn't want to work, still wouldn't want to do this. And that's kind of, we go negative to get him to swing positive, okay? And so he's taking away the money, and he's going to go negative. I didn't listen very carefully. Troy, did you go negative when you said if I took the money out of this, if I took the money out of the issue, you wouldn't want to work with me? Wouldn't being the negative word there.
No, I missed that key point.
Okay, there's a little thing. See, we do things that most people don't see. Most salespeople in any field are like bulls in a china shop. They're very obvious. They're very transparent. We're doing some things that are a little beneath the surface, a little subliminal here. So we might go negative or positive to get the opposite reaction here. And so let's see, does anybody want to take over Troy's job here? I don't want to show favoritism here. Does somebody want to jump in and try to close me and just jump in? Larry, you got the... I'm thinking maybe you want to jump in here.
Well, let's see. Where should I start from?
Let's say, Claude, if money wasn't an issue.
Yeah. Okay. So, Claude, so if money was an issue, is there any way we could kind of, if we were to take money out of the whole issue, would that help you at all?
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Would you, if you could, do you mean it's free or financing, or what are you talking about here?
Well, yeah, we could talk about doing some financing if we were to do a portion down and then a portion every month for the next few months. Would that work for you?
Okay, off the role play. Do the same thing you just said, but go. That wouldn't be more acceptable, or that isn't. That isn't. Yeah. I want you to go negative to get me to react positively. You did really well, but just that little bit there. Do that one more time, but with the negative connotation.
So, if you were to take money out of the issue, do you think that might work for you?
Yeah, that would be that would be wonderful. What are you talking about? How much would I need down? What would I need to do this real estate deal?
Well, $500 down and $200 a month, that wouldn't work for you, would it?
Well, I was going to give you 1,000, but if you only want 500, that's super.
I'm sorry, what?
I was going to give you 1,000 down, but you said 500, so that's great. Thank you so much.
Oh, great. Yeah, well, I heard you the first time. I just like to hear good news twice.
What's the old sales rule? The first to mention price.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. There's a sub rule though. You can't go back and forth more than once. Okay.
Right.
So
right.
if he asks me what would your budget allow you to put down as a commitment for us solving your problem, then you go back in the pain to make more money, to have a system, to increase your commissions and sales or whatever. And I say I don't know, and then I go back to you. Now you have to suggest a range. Because if you do it back to me again, say, well, how much can you put down? You know, and we keep going back and forth like a tennis ball. Then it gets nasty. It gets aggressive. So you see, let's do it one more time just to get the practice in here. Ask me the money question. What would your budget?
So what would your budget be, Claude?
Well, you wouldn't be able to accept 1,500 down and $750 a month. That's about the best I could do right now.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought here.
It's okay. I do it all day long. It's a guy thing, right? The ladies are all smiling.
So then, okay. So let's see if I go another way with this. If we were to do 1,500 down and 750, and that's going to get you on this program, and it's going to start helping you out. Would that work for you then, or that wouldn't work for you?
That would be super. That would be great. And we could start right away, and you could help me sell my home and do a lease purchase or whatever. Or
what?
We could start working right away if I gave you that money down today, and I'd get some of your materials, and we could start talking and working on this problem.
Sounds good. I'm sorry. What?
I said. What do you need? A hearing
What are you, deaf?
I would never do that. I do that stuff all the time. On that was good. Thank you. So what are we doing here by with this role play here? What are we trying to create? We're trying to tackle the money issue right up front. We're trying to qualify. We're taking it off the table. We're offering them would they want to still work with us. If they say yes, then we go back into the finance issue. Okay. Is there anything wrong with financing in some products and services? Absolutely not. If they're within your control. If it's your own business, you can do whatever you want. If it's somebody else's business, this might be an issue actually. But most of us here are talking about our own business, so it's very acceptable. So if you so let's go back to our original thought here. How important is having a system, staying in control, exuding confidence and leadership? How important is that for our own self-esteem?
Big.
I think it's the whole world. I can tell you that I've worked for other companies, and any excuse I could find to get away from making a presentation to a person who I knew wasn't going to treat me nice. If we go into situations where people reject us, what does that do? If we get rejected in business, let's not even talk personal or social. If we get rejected on a consistent basis, what does that do to us inside? In here and here. What happens?
We start to doubt ourselves.
And can we continue to do the thing that makes us money, to earn us income, if we don't feel great about ourselves, if we don't get those success stories once in a while?
No, it becomes more of a challenge.
Yeah. Do we start out with self-esteem, or does self-esteem come from success? This is a Harvard psychology question here. Is self-esteem something we're born with, or something we derive from experience?
I think we develop it from experience.
Okay, I heard Anthony out there somewhere.
I think we're born with it.
Ooh, now tell me, you think we're born, you mean a brand new baby. Chaim Zachariah King is born, and without any influence from his parents or anything, he is just going to feel great about himself, secure and confident, and change the world.
Well, I think that there's a survival instinct which causes us to behave in ways that are going to keep us alive. and perpetuate ourselves.
Do you mean self-esteem is related to survival, social acceptance, acceptance by our peers is important? It is important to our. Do we survive? Do we have to have high self-esteem to be accepted by others in social settings? Thinking of cavemen sitting around a fire or something like that. Can you survive if you're a loner or with your group living in a cave?
You'll do a lot better if you're with a group, I believe.
You'll do a lot better with a group. What if that group rejects you?
Ouch.
Yeah. Ouch.
I think it depends.
Ooh.
I think it depends on, and I'll say why. I think your self-esteem has an inverse relationship with your ego. Okay. I think if you're constantly worried about how someone else perceives that image you're trying to direct, I think your self-esteem actually goes down. However, I think that if you're concentrating on just doing the right thing, okay, because it is the right thing, then your self-esteem.
You mean you got to work at that self-esteem that's to be accepted?
Oh, exactly. And you're gonna as long as you're doing that right thing and you know it's the right thing, your self-esteem is just gonna shoot through the roof. Now, confidence may be another story.
Confidence is not the same as self-esteem, however, is it?
Exactly.
There are two different things here. Go ahead, Troy.
You know, one of the things that's interesting, and the reason why I think I was talking to you a little bit about this idea of having things formatted, knowing what to say ahead of time, because see, I used to apply this to dating years ago, okay? I'm now happily married, since 2005. But when I would apply it to dating, I had my shtick, my spiel, everything was actually outlined and rehearsed ahead of time. I knew what I was going to say. I knew how I was going to say it. And, even if I ran into a couple of scenarios where I got rejected, it didn't matter because I knew, and this was a little bit of a numbers game here. Okay. I knew that, okay, rejection once or twice, no big deal. I would just move on to the next one. And I knew that I can capture and lead their imagination. I knew that I could get the result or the outcome that I was looking for. And so I didn't, so my point is that with good self-talk and with good practice and with good preparation, you can even get through, some rejection. You can get over some, so I think it's a combination. It depends upon how much emphasis you put on the outer world versus your inner strength. Some people, it's all tied to the outer world. If the outer world says I suck, well, oh my gosh, dude, I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna stick my head in the pillow and my life is over. And some people actually respond that way. And yet some people have this inner strength that they actually grow and they're able to say, hey, you know what? I direct my outcomes. I direct the direction that I'm going in. So I think, and then going back to the thing about being born, I think to a certain degree, I think some of us have in our DNA a certain makeup.
Is it possible it's a combination? We have DNA from our ancestors because we have to be socially accepted by the campfire and share the meat, the antelope that was hunted or whatever. We have to be socially accepted to survive because it's easier to hunt with a group, it's easier to stay with a group than it is to be an individual, and we have to have that group accept us. And through an evolutionary process, whether you believe in it or not, do you think there's something inside us that says this is a smart way to survive?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's also the other side here, where we have to learn this stuff, and I think we react to our environment. Where we, if I go out there and I make a sale, I might have been a 4 or 5 on the confidence scale, but I make that sale. I'm a 9 or a 10 right now. I am coming home. Honey, we're going out and getting a bottle of wine and a steak dinner. I feel good. I made money by the sweat of my brow. And where am I going with? Some of it's built in and it's hardwired, and some of it has to be earned. Am I on target? Somebody jump in here.
Yes, and I think, well, as Troy was saying, the way the environment treats you as well plays in. I think it's a combination because you might be born with good self-esteem, but then where do the parents come in?
Oh, now you're talking. Now you're talking environment, which is a third category.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I didn't realize. Did I open up something?
You opened up another category. So we have DNA. We have things that we do based on our own experiences and hard work and intelligence. And then we have environment. Did we grow up around parents who were, who patted you on the back, said, "Nice job, son. Good job. I'm proud of you"? Or did we have parents who belittle us all our life? Does that baggage help us or affect us?
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. This is a this is a great psychobabble conference we're having here. I want to bring it, and I kind of like this topic because it relates so much to guts. I want to bring it home before the hour's up here. How does this all relate to sales, to making money, to business? Somebody bring it home for me here.
If you feel good about yourself, you're going to go out there and kick some butt.
I like that answer.
And you're just gonna feel free to really express yourself. And if you go out there and you get beat up all the time, and that's how you make money, eventually you're gonna start associating negative feelings to that money, and you're not gonna enjoy making money.
There are people out there who feel guilty about making money. I've met them. I've met these people. Fortunately, I've never suffered from that disease. I like security. I like my bed. I like my bills paid. I like taking care of my family. That's important to me. That's priority number one. I've never had a guilt about making money as long as it was done honestly, ethically.
You can actually flip that coin over and use it on as far as the prospect is concerned. His self-esteem, when he's, for instance, in real estate, a guy is really trying to sell his house and he can't sell that house fast enough. He knows he's about to go to another home where his family is. He's making 2 house payments. There's a possibility that he's going to be placed in a really bad bind. And if he's in that bad bind, he's thinking, wait a minute now, I got to support my family. How am I going to support my family? When that happens, his image as maybe a father or provider, that right there is being attacked. And if you can recognize that, you may be able to again, these are emotions that you're looking for. He's become seriously emotional. And if you can actually zoom in on that, then you can make money.
You're right. So we're back to, I think we're kind of back. We've gone full circle that we have to, just to sum up here, and then I'll go around the room and let everybody just add a comment or what they learned today. It sounds to me that we have to feel very good about ourselves. We have to embrace self-esteem. We have to learn skills that allow us to be in control, but not a bully. We have to learn a systematic way of asking questions and working smarter than everybody else. And it's okay to feel good. It's okay to exude confidence. The perception is the reality in business if you're going to make money. And this is a very complicated subject. I'm going to just add one other thing here. Anthony Robbins used to, and a lot of other gurus used to do this hot coal walking party. You remember that? Does everybody? They'd lay coals down, and then they put grass, and basically he said to these people, "Has anyone here ever done that? By the way."
No.
I never had. I never had. And I wrote a couple articles. I think the only thing you did by paying $5,000 in Hawaii to walk on hot coals is get a hot foot. Okay. I don't think it had. I think it's such a short-term external. It's not something that you can take Monday morning back to the office with you. I think it was just a fleeting moment. Yes, I did it. But what happens? Does that give you the skills, the tools, the mindset, the confidence to apply it to business? And I thought it, and it's okay to disagree, I thought it was a lot of hooey.
I think they used it to make more money while they were there.
I thought it was a temporary. I thought it was a temporary feeling of success.
Yeah.
But it was not something that you could carry on to generate for business. Anyone agree or disagree with that?
I agree.
Well, the idea behind it is that if I can do this, which by the way, most people when they show up to do a fire walk, they don't believe they can. And so by being able to do a firewalk, you're able to say, wow, if I can do this, what else is possible?
Sure.
And the design is to open neural pathways to get you believing or thinking that maybe there's a new world of possibility. Maybe there's something that I can do that previously I thought was limited. Like ask a person in the first 3 minutes, can they afford my product?
Yeah.
Okay, so you raised a valid point. Does it help build enough confidence for you to apply it to other features, other places in your life, both social and business? And I think I'm going to end right there. That was a great point. Thank you. I like somebody disagrees with me here. My job is just to kind of raise things that have worked for me and not worked, and ideas, and stimulate. You guys like this kind of Friday open dialogue thing here?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
Absolutely.
Is it fun?
Yeah, I like.
Or is it boring city here?
Well, I like it because in the beginning, you're usually, you ask for, see if anyone has any deals, and then you discuss the deals, and then you go from that point to actually discussing the psychology behind getting the deal. So that's always great.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Kevin, let's just go around the room. Kevin, did you want to add anything to that, what you learned today, or you kind of covered it there?
No, I mean, it kind of reinforced some of the things that I've been going over now. You know what I mean? I think it was good to hear from other people.
It's fun to talk to people all over the U.S., isn't it?
Yeah, you get to it gets that old noodle to functioning or firing,
We get new ideas, new concepts. Sharon, you've been real quiet here, and I see you're back. What'd you get out of today?
Well, it was a good review. I think just to look at from a confidence level, the importance of being confident, and it's sometimes you don't always think about that, or I don't.
Yeah. We're trying to categorize success here. We're trying to break it down. What do successful people do? What do we need to do? And get some ideas and stimuli here. Larry, go ahead.
Well, I think, talking about the firewalker thing, I think keeping that momentum and I guess as far as, your question back to about do we like these calls? Like, well, yeah, I like these calls whenever I can do it. Sometimes it's kind of difficult.
And we tape not to interrupt you, but I always tape these and then try to put them on YouTube for you guys too.
Yeah. And so I guess, the keeping momentum as far as after you've done something successful is just like, okay, it's okay to pat yourself on the back, but then go right back and say, okay, I'm going to practice this. I'm going to work this system, and I'm going to, do it again, And I think sometimes it's real easy for people to kind of fall back in the same rut, and that kind of goes back to that self-esteem thing, that if you don't capitalize on that and say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it again, it's not going to happen again unless you really have that mentality. So
good point. Valid point. Anthony?
Yes, I very much like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I very much like these calls and enjoy these calls, and I love hearing everybody's input. I learned something from each and every one of you, and today we talk about confidence, and so I'm gonna take this and go sit and think how I can build my confidence. How can I apply this into what I do? And the role play between Troy and Claude to listen to you guys at the beginning was very valuable. Thank you for that. That was awesome.
Mr. Hatch.
Yes. I did enjoy it. And I think, it's like we have talked about, don't come across as a salesperson.
Yes.
But come across someone who, who is concerned, but who might have a solution, but it may not work out. And be open to that, and try not to push any one thing. Just you can kind of guide how you talk to them, but it necessarily doesn't have to work out.
Very good. Samin, I see you're back. You want to add what you got out of today?
Yeah, sure. First, I would like to thank you. This is my first time attending the conference, and I enjoyed it a lot, especially because real people talking there about their real, and the role playing, it always helps me. And I'm the real, I think if I can do sales, anyone can do sales. I'm the, always the shy person. I never talked in class, and Claude has helped me a lot. And just being on the conference and speaking to you
everyone.
Well, good for you. That's great. My only request is next time you come to the group, you bring us a New York City pizza.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
I'm tired of eating Colorado pizza.
Well, you were here just a couple of weeks ago, so I'm sure you had to.
I am not kidding you. With all my running and everything, I still gained 6 pounds. I can't live in New York City anymore, much as I love my hometown, because on every corner there's too much food.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's all good. Who's Linda? Let's give you a word, and then we'll go to Troy.
I really like these calls. I think they're very interesting. I'm like you. I like psychology and why people behave as they do. And I think that it really gives us an opportunity to dissect the process and fine tune the areas that we really need to focus on to grow in. And one of them is definitely self confidence and really adding value, being able to portray value to our clients. And I just think it's a positive call. I like it.
Okay, great. And Troy, give you the last word here. Thank you for the role playing and contributing also, by the way.
Yeah. I'm new to the gut sales training system, so I love these calls. I think I've been on 3 of them so far, and I learned from each one. I like to write things down, because when I write them down, like for example, the next time we do a role play, okay, I will definitely have this one ready. If money weren't an issue, Claude, you wouldn't want to do this, would you? I won't forget that one now because we're using it.
Yeah, because money is always the biggest objection in most cases, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing all this work to create all this need and make them want to buy from us, to trust us, the perception that they can help us. But then money's an issue. We got to take care of that. And we all know if we take care of the money up front and not put it on the back burner, and this is why I call it guts. This is a scary, scary thing. So bravo to all of you for being great gut salespeople and applying the things that are important to you to be a good professional salesperson. And there's only one downside for my system here, and then after this, I promise I'll go. The trouble is, you start analyzing all the other salespeople in the world, and they say, "Gee, why don't they do this or do that?"
Yeah.
Or why aren't they asking me? Why are they asking me questions and things like that? And you start becoming very analytical on other salespeople in the world, and I don't know if that's a bad thing actually. So everybody, thank you so much. Kevin, congratulations to you and your wife on the birth of your new son. Everybody have a safe, wonderful weekend. Give yourselves a round of applause. And take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
Go ahead and send that recording over, please.
Okay, I will do it right now. If you guys stay, I'm going to go off, but it'll be inside the Skype, okay?
Okay.